Yeah, acknowledge me. My name is Ralph Williams. I am the host of the Ralph's Opinion Show. And yeah, what do you want to talk about? And let me talk to you tonight. And we're here every Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. live here on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, X, and the Kick Network. We have a lot to talk about again tonight. And I want your opinion on something: nuclear power. Nuclear power is something that we're going to need, and we're going to talk about that coming up. All right? The good, the bad, and the ugly of President Trump. Stupid never takes a vacation. Shame on you and exposed tonight. Lots to talk about every single Wednesday night, 7:30 here on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, X, and the Kick Network. We're live here from Studios 10 in Berlin, Maryland. And also, I am the revolutionary. I am the visionary. I am Ralph Williams. Acknowledge me. All right. Okay, let's get started with the show tonight. Nuclear power. Are you a whiner? Do you live near 3 Mile Island in Pennsylvania? Some of you might not have even been born when that happened. It happened back in 1979. 3 Mile Island nuclear power plant near Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, exploded, or, the reactor shut down and nuclear waste and power went all over the place. It shut it down permanently. And the site's been sitting there decrepit for many years. Well, over the years, they've decided to fix it up. Rumor has it they're going to restart it. Part of President Trump's energy plan. Now, I know there's a bunch of you progressives out there who really don't care about anything that President Trump does because you'll shoot it down like you do everything else. All right. Joe Biden didn't care. He didn't want coal. He didn't want natural gas. He didn't want this. He didn't want that. Okay. He was good for solar power. I have nothing against solar power. It helps save money. But solar power is not going to help this country down the road at all. And what I mean by that is, in case if you don't know power, if you don't have enough of it, it's not going to power this country. We need to go back into nuclear power. What all this does is creates jobs for everybody. That's what it does. It'll create good paying jobs. But the question is, and I always have to pose this question: do you want to work? And see, here's another prime example of available jobs, and you don't want to work. And I know there are people out there who can't work like me. I can't. I'm in a wheelchair. I cannot work. All right. I make no money doing this. All right. I don't make any money doing this. I do it for my health. Would like to, but I do it for my health right now. Okay. I do it as a hobby because I can't make any money at it. All right. Never have. Why I ever got into it, I'll never know. But, that's where we are today. All right. Pensman says hello. Hello, Pensman Sports. Don't forget to tune into his stuff. He has his own YouTube channel. He does a lot of shorts. Does live streaming of New York Yankee games, Michigan football, and much more. Also participates with Brian Pettit from Sports Break Media as well. All right. That's the Saturday show. Hang on a minute. I got the wrong one. There we go. All right. Sports Break Media, Brian Pettit. They join me every Saturday morning, along with Leo Haggerty, 10 a.m., right here on our social media platforms. YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, X, and the Kick Network. We're here live every Saturday morning, 10 a.m. for the Saturday Sports Blast Show. All right. We'll be talking more about that during our announcement segment. Okay. So remember that next time. If you want power, you need it. All right. Hello. How are you? Thank you. Withers Day. Hello. Thank you for being part of the program. All right. Cal, welcome to the program. Thank you. Thank you, Cal. Nuclear power. Do you want it? Yes. Do you want coal? We need all of this in order for this country to survive. And this is another example of why we need to get rid of the progressives. Because we need nuclear power. We need it because our power grids are going down. Our power grids are shortening out. There's electrical bursts that are going out. I personally went out and got a Generac generator. And I'm not going to say any more about it because they don't pay me. All right? Okay? Yeah, exactly, Pensman. I mentioned work. Yeah, thank you. You're exactly correct. All right? Pensman's a hard worker. Why can't you? We have a gift now. We have a president that wants nuclear power, coal. He wants natural gas. He wants it all. But you don't want to get up and do anything with it. That's like being handed a bundle of money to start up a business and then the business fails. Okay? Do you see the point I'm making here about jobs, about working, about getting out there and doing something to help this economy, help our country out? Why do you think when the 4th of July hit and everybody was going on and on about 250 years and I was going like this, you know why? Because we don't appreciate it in this country. We don't care. We have an I don't care attitude. All right? We don't have the working class people that we had years ago. Well, if I got to go out and I got to work 3-4 jobs, well, find a way to do something to do better. Don't commit crimes and you have it on your background. Don't smoke pot. No, I mean, listen, I'm going to tell you this right now, just like a job. I get emails all the time. Well, if you don't work, well, I don't work because I'm in a wheelchair. I'm deemed unable to work a gainful employed job. And I make no money doing this. Okay? That's right. If I could work, I would work. I'd put rings around everybody. Okay? And I have worked 3 jobs, and I know what it's like. So don't sit out there and tell me what I know when you know, if you don't go out and get drunk all the time, you don't go out and make 10 babies you can't take care of. And again, I got nothing against people making kids. I have no problem with that. But these are some of the excuses and some of the things that are making you not being able to go out and work, that are holding you back. And there are people, I know you're down on your luck. Let me tell you something. I lived down here for almost a year now, probably, well over a year. I'd say about, 14 months. I try to be as patient and as content as I can. I have never in my life been so explosive and so mad about a lot of things going on. Today I had an issue. I had something that just set me off. Okay? I used to be content on everything now, and I still am. But there's a part of me that gets angry all the time now. Okay? That gets angry because every day it's something else. I had an ex-girlfriend whose son went in front of a judge in Allegheny County in Pittsburgh. And the judge says to him, to this kid, look, son, he says, today's your lucky day. And the kid says, well, Your Honor, what does that mean? And he says, today's your lucky day because I'm having a good day. And that means you're going to have a good day. Now, if I was having a bad day, your day's going to be bad. I make everybody's day bad. I'm not to that effect yet, but it's getting close. Because I used to have good days every day. Now I have, if I'm lucky, if they're 50-50. It's either my health or it's some other crap or it's this, that, and whatever. I'm very depressed and disappointed in all you out there who have not stepped up and sponsored my shows. I'm still being treated in Pittsburgh like a redheaded stepchild, which I thought maybe by moving and putting on some shows and stealing some ratings from the other station that perhaps maybe things might work in a different direction. No. I can't get the respect and dignity that I deserve. Okay? I get treated better in Philly and down here in the Delmarva region than I ever did in Pittsburgh. And I had a serious conversation with my wife the other night, and I says, I might just shut everything down at the end of the year because I'm tired of working it out, and I've got nothing to show for it. Nothing. Okay? Subscribers aren't there, that kind of thing. And I normally don't come out and say some of this stuff, but I have let loose over the last year because I've had enough. My advertising's very affordable. But I don't see you calling me. I don't see you making a phone call, sending an email, or anything. Okay? You don't tune into my radio shows up in Pittsburgh because you can't get away from the big K. All right? See, people don't like change. Change is something that is not in a lot of folks' vocabulary. Our country can't change. We can change, but when we do change, we change for the worst. And that's a fact, by the way. Okay? We change for the worst. And it's really sad. Okay? And I know what you're going to tell me tonight. Well, if you don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, I know what I'm talking about because I see it all the time. Okay? I see it all the time. All right? A lot of things that I had to do this year that I never expected on doing. And when I needed help and when I needed people to help me out and give me some slack because I was having issues with my house and be understanding, them people crapped on me. Okay? Which is another reason why I'm the way I am now. Not one, but two different people. And you know who they are. Because if you don't, you haven't been tuning into my shows. Okay? Crapped on me. And you still watch their programs. Crapped on me. And you still, do this, that, and whatever with those folks. That makes me angry. You know how that makes me feel? And you want to know why I have an attitude sometimes when I come on here. But nuclear power, here we go. We have an opportunity yet again. The steel industry's back now because of Nippon Steel and the U.S. Steel deal. Manufacturing is back. Farming is back. Everything is back now because of President Trump's tariffs, which everyone said would never work. He passed a Medicaid bill to get people out there to start working so they don't have to live on that stuff all the time. Okay? All right? I know, Pensman, but you know what? It's getting old. It really is. You see it out there. It's getting old. All right? Here, I'll give you another example. You got some kid who's getting on the internet, and he's on all these social media platforms doing bird calls. Got 10,000 people watching that. And 100,000 subscribers. within the course of one show. Just doing bird calls. Bird calls. Okay? Maybe I should go do bird calls, or maybe I should do shows naked or something. Something's got to give here. All right. Thank you for tuning in, Pedro, as well. All right. Enough is enough. I've had it. I mean, I said to my wife the other night, I'm thinking about shutting it all down at the end of the year. If things don't, if I don't start getting some quality sponsors, people that actually really can pay, and is jerking me around, and like Shore Appliance did. Okay, that continues. I'm done. I'm done. All right. I gave five businesses. I gave an opportunity for advertising that was very affordable. I was willing to work with them. Not one of them bothered to deal with me, but they went out of business. You get the picture now? Thank you, Barry, for that. Okay? Thank you. So, nuclear power, we have another opportunity. It's knocking on the door. Coal is here. Natural gas is still here. Put the right politicians in there so we could keep it this way, and we could be self-dependent, and prices will go down. We don't have to kiss the Middle East ass anymore. I'm tired of it. Oh, we got to be delicate with Iran now because they're going after Bahrain. They're going after Saudi Arabia. They're going after our allies. Oh, we can't blow them away like we thought we were going to. Oh, I'd do it anyway. Kuwait's paying the price because we were playing dink and dink with Iran, which I thought wasn't going to happen. And look where we are now. And we're worrying about paying over $4 a gallon for gas. We have a problem with the economy. Food prices are sky high because of the gas prices, because of the tariffs. At least that's what they say. Not everybody can be right, you know. I'm not always right, but I admit when I'm wrong. Okay? All right, let's move on here. Do you want natural gas? Do you like the nuclear power? We're going to need it. We're running out because we're using too much. And then you sit there and complain about AI centers. And some of these AI centers, the people who own them are putting in their own natural gas and their own electrical power plants right there so that they're not taken from the town or the borough or whatever you want to call it, that your power is in and stealing from you. I don't want all that noise. I don't want you to my community. But then your business, you cry because your business can't sell breakfast at the diner. Because nobody's coming through your town because you don't want anything. Then everybody that lives in the town that's elderly or old dies. And then what happens now? You have nobody. You have nobody. Okay? There's a lot of things that we need to worry about in this country, and we're thinking around. Iran's one of them, and we need to quit thinking around and get rid of this country and get them out of our lives and get back to work, fixing the economy, getting the homeless off the streets, mental health. The economy's bad. And I don't want to hear nothing about jobs. There's jobs everywhere. Nobody wants to work. Yeah, exactly. All right. 250 years of our country. 250 years. And this is what we do here. Listen to the song from, and I use this all the time, Reba McEntire. We got to give our world back to God because we failed here. We failed. The decisions that we're making the things that we're doing. They're not working. Okay? They're not working. And because of the screw-ups of the administration in the White House, other Republicans now who are trying to run for office could get voted out by these progressives that you keep putting in here. That you keep putting in here. Okay? Just keep on going. We're not going to have any power. Just keep on going. We're not going to have any gas. Just keep on going, putting these progressives in. We're not going to have no law enforcement. Just keep on going. Our other countries are going to attack us, and we're going to be caught again with our pants down like we did for 9/11. Just keep on going, everybody. Keep on voting in the progressives. I voted in the only thing that I could, and that was President Donald Trump. Because Kamala Harris is weak. And now she wants to run again with that woman that wears the turban that's in Michigan or Minnesota. What, you didn't learn the first time, Kamala? With Wall? You didn't learn? Now you want to do that? Absolutely. We should have never even gave Ukraine anything. Much agree with there, Barry. Absolutely. I've been on getting rid of that war since President Trump got elected. He said 24 hours I will have this war ended. It's still going on. It's been going on since what, 2022? Okay? Nobody wants to, and I brought this up on my Philly show today. I brought this up on my other radio shows. Nobody wants to sit down and discuss and negotiate and talk anymore. It's all about fighting and shooting and killing. That's what it's about now. Fighting, shooting, and killing. Okay? We're going to fight. We're going to shoot somebody because they owe us $5. We're going to shoot somebody because they owe me $100. You stole a joint off of me. Oh, I'm going to shoot you. Okay? This is where we are today. Our country is a mess. Maybe you need to listen to Reba McEntire, or I'll play it for you right now. We got to give our world back to God. Because this is not right. This is not working. Okay? This is not working at all. Afghanistan, that pullout was a mess. We should have never, you don't give the country back to the enemy, and the enemy's the Taliban. I don't care how much they say that they resurrected themselves. Okay? Iraq the same way. We should have kept our hands on that. Instead, we gave them back, pulled out in 2011, and went and told our enemy we were pulling out. And how many times have we had to go back there to clean out the ISIS or the Houthis or whomever? How many? Exactly. We don't make the right decisions. We pay for the stupid ones. That's why we have Stupid Never Takes a Vacation on this program. How much does it make? It can make money in manufacturing. I worked in a manufacturing steel plant that made springs during the Persian Gulf War, the first one in the early 90s. Tanks. The military called us. We made springs for tanks. We made springs for some of the other vehicles, military vehicles. Once the war ended, things got cut back. Okay? But we were working 3 shifts, 24/7 days a week. After the war, we didn't work weekends. After the war, we only worked 1, maybe 2 shifts. Okay? Yeah, war does do some good for some people. And I was involved in a profit sharing program at this company I worked at. So my profit sharing checks were very high. Okay? Yeah, war does do some things for certain groups of people. But if we can start manufacturing stuff in this country again, then we don't have to worry like we did during COVID. We couldn't get respirators and masks, and people died because they were made in foreign countries, which they should have never been done in the first place. Okay? You might not agree with these tariffs, but you know what? I do. And I agree with the fact of them because I'm tired of our country kissing China, Russia, and everybody else is behind. It's getting old. All right? Listen to that song, or I'll play it for you right here. We got to give our world back to God because we failed. We have failed here. And we're going to fail again because the progressives are going to get in again because President Trump and his cabinet and his gang there in the White House are all screwing things up according to most people. Real estate prices are sky high. You can't get a home. You can't rent a place. People sleeping in cars. The homeless people running all over the place, stealing, robbing. Can't put them in jail because of stupid laws these progressives have in these towns. Okay? Do I need to go on? Or do you or are you aware of what's going on? Are you too high or too drunk or too whatever to understand what I'm saying? Or you just don't want to listen to what I'm saying because you know I'm right. You know I'm right. Again. You know I'm right. And I argue with people all the time. It's a lazy society, Ralph. You know, you're talking about people want to work. They don't want to work for minimum wage. Well, a job is a job, my friend. A job is a job. I did it. You can do it too. I can't go on with the boss. I want weekends off. I want holidays off. It's the same old story. They wouldn't let me keep my ponytail. I have a freedom of expression in this country. I cut my hair for an $8 an hour job 10, 12, 15 years ago. I'll do it again if I needed it. Okay? You see what I'm saying? The difference between you and me and everybody and, you know, the people who think, all right? Okay? And getting back to what I was saying earlier about how I want to shut things down at the end of the year because I'm tired of paying for it all the time and not making anything out of this or not getting any satisfaction out of this because I'm still being treated like a redheaded stepchild up in Pittsburgh. I have some friends that are involved with me in a sports program that I really don't want to take off the air, but I might have to because I can't pay for it anymore. You understand what I'm getting at here? And when I know I'm not being treated with dignity and respect, that's when it's time to get out. All right? That's when it's time to get out. When 10,000 people watch some kid do bird calls, but you can't watch any programming that myself and Pensman and Sports Break Media put on the air. Two people that have programs and have companies screwed me over and gave me crap. But you support them, but you don't support me. How would you like it if somebody gave you crap? How would you like it if somebody stabbed you in the back? How would you like it if somebody, you know what I mean? Okay? When I needed help, when I needed a break, when I needed to say, hey, I have a problem here. I'm handicapped and in a wheelchair. I have my wife at the time was injured. It's partially disabled. My mother's 80 years old. She's partially disabled. Okay? I don't have the help I had up in Pittsburgh down here to do what I need to get done. So guess who has to do it? I do. Okay? Do you see what I'm saying? And when I asked for some, you know, okay, look, this is what's going on here, I got yelled at. I got screamed at. I got treated like a piece of crap. Okay? And you want to know why I'm on here all the time saying this stuff? Because it's truth. I'm not saying here because I want, you know, you as a country should be proud of the fact that I'm in a wheelchair and I'm on here doing this because there's not too many who do. Okay? But you're not. And let me say this, I have burned bridges with some radio people. Believe me, I have. But only because it was because they tried to stick it to me and I stuck it back and they didn't like it. Okay? I got stung a few years back by a radio station who made promises to me that they couldn't keep. and then stab me in the back. I had the best program on their show. I carried their radio station nationwide. And you know what they did to me? Nothing. They stabbed me in the back, made comments, I don't care, that kind of thing. That's what happened. Then when I asked them for a favor, no, they couldn't help me out. Okay? You get the point of what I'm saying? That's not just a media business, that's everywhere now. It's everywhere. And yeah, that's right. Ralph has changed his attitude because you know why? Of this. Sticking it to me. I have never in my life ever been so stuck to in my life. And it's depressing and it's sad and it's making me depressed about it. You know, there's days I wake up and say, you know what, screw this. I'm just going to throw it all out. I don't care. But I do it because I don't want to let you, the fans, down. Me, I could care less if I quit or let myself down. I've done it before. Okay? All right? That's the bottom line right there. But do we want nuclear power? No. We're going to complain because, oh, that's going to steal my power. Oh, but then when you don't have power, oh my, what happened? Because you didn't want it. And you have nothing now. You didn't want natural gas. And you're paying out of the yin yang, out of the butt, for gas for your home, to fuel your home. We're paying at the pump because we got to kiss the Middle East ass. You see what I'm saying? Okay? We're kissing the Middle East ass. And we need not to anymore. And depend on ourselves. But we can't because we don't want to work. That's the biggest problem with this country right now. It filters down to we don't want to work. You complain about immigrants driving tractor trailers, but you don't want that job. You complain about immigrants driving a coach bus. You don't want that job. You complain because there's a guy that's 80 years old that looks like Grandpa Harris that is driving a bus. And you go, oh, why is that old man driving a bus? Because you can't. Thank you, Pensman. I appreciate it. Pensman's my best friend. One of them. I've got several. But Pensman's one of my really best friends. Thank you. Means a lot to me. Okay? But you'll flood the internet for some kid making bird calls, but you won't watch my program. You won't follow me. You won't follow Pensman. You won't follow Brian Petty. You won't follow any of us. Two people with shows and stuff stuck it to us, had us on their networks, decided to stick it up our butts. And what happens? You're still watching their programs instead of working with us. We're the ones that got stuck, and you're the one that's where we are today. Okay? That's exactly where we are today. All right? All right. We got a lot to talk about here. Stupid never takes a vacation. I got a bunch of those, of course, because stupid is as stupid does. Stupid. You can't teach stupid. I've heard that one. You know, stupid is stupid. But here, I want to show you something here. This is from Decision Points from U.S. News. They said that in today's edition, the best states rankings of all the states, best rankings. Okay? All right, of all the states here. Let me see if I can find it here. All right, hold on here. Let me see if I can find this report. But they're saying that there's state performances reveals trade-off governments make the pursuit of growth and prosperity, which means Decision Points caught up with managing editor news Eric Liedtke to get a fuller picture as to project and results. What was the primary criteria, okay, that we used to rank states, and how we weighed them? The 8th edition of our Best States Rankings compiles 71 metrics to assesses how states are doing across the 8 broad categories, which includes education, okay, healthcare, economy, fiscal stability, infrastructure, opportunity, natural environment, crime, and corrections. All right. So I don't live in Pennsylvania no more because we got so many progressives there that we have bad education, some bad economy, no fiscal stability, poor infrastructure, okay? Opportunity, yeah, there is some. Okay, natural environment, yeah, lots of great natural environment in Pennsylvania. Fishing, hunting, yeah, lots. Okay, camping, trails, state parks, yeah. Okay, but here's the biggest one of them all, and I have said this so many times: crime and corrections. Not enough jails. Sending people away on what? Ankle monitors. They just convicted a guy. He pleaded guilty to several charges of, I think it was $1 million he stole or something. And you know what they gave him? 5 years probation and 1 year of house arrest. This guy should be in jail forever for playing them kind of games. I don't care what he plead. We need to fix our law and order in this whole country, and it's not just in Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, or Washington, D.C., or Baltimore, or any of those places where they have progressive governments. All right, Minnesota with Tim Wall, he needs to go. Okay, Wes Moore in Maryland, he needs to go. Josh Shapiro needs to go. All right. I know Josh Shapiro's done a lot, and all you people that live in Pennsylvania are going to start crying and complaining to me, sending me emails going on and on about how, oh, well, you know what? You're picking on Josh Shapiro. No, I'm not picking on him. I'm telling it like it is. All right. Where was the mental institutions he promised he was going to reopen? That hasn't happened. Okay. All right. We have a mental health problem, not just in PA, it's everywhere. At least here in Maryland, they got a grip on everything. Pennsylvania has a grip on nothing. You see? That's the difference between the states. All right? All right. Here's stupid never takes a vacation. Delaware spa owner surrenders to police amid alleged human trafficking investigation. Really? Shame on you for that. That's in Delaware. Stupid never takes a vacation. All right? That's a shame. All right. Next. Here, a Maryland man sets a girlfriend's house ablaze after threatening to make her eat her son's ashes. Her son dies, wants to be cremated, and he's trying to make her eat his ashes. Shame on you. Shame on you for that. Here's another dumb, stupid one. Jeopardy winner pleads guilty to felony and peeping Tom after putting hidden cameras in a rental property bedroom and bathroom. Okay? This is from Entertainment Tonight. Jeopardy winner pleads guilty to felony peeping after putting hidden cameras in a rental property's bathroom and bedroom. He earned $44,698 on Jeopardy. And he had 2 Jeopardy wins in 2024 and was hit with a 60-month probationary sentence. This is what I think of the justice system. I don't know. Here's Carnival Cruise Lines. How many times have I talked about them? All right. I just had to report here and I lost it. I don't know how that happened, but okay. Carnival Cruise Line. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Here we go. Trump announces President Trump renovation of Dulles Airport. Rumor has it he wants to put his name on one of the DC airports. He want to put his name on Kennedy Center. All right. I think, and again, I voted for him, so I will take the blame for it. I think he needs to be worried about Iran instead of worrying about where his name is going. And he's trying to make up for what he lost in Atlantic City because they tore his hotels down, about 4 or 5 years ago or more? Because the mayor there said when he was president the first time, he did absolutely nothing for Atlantic City, and they've done stuff for him for years. Gave him tax breaks on his property and the stuff he was doing to employees. Actually, it wasn't him. Those hotels he gave to his other wives, not, Melania Trump, but to the other wives that he had for alimony. Okay, let's see. A lot of people don't know that. All right. Okay. And I'm serious. They don't know that. Okay. All right. Let's get started here. President Trump, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Yeah, the good, the bad, and the ugly. All right, President Trump. All right. The ugly, here we go. Gas prices up and down. Stock market today on gas and oil down. Okay. All right. So here we are. That's the ugly. The bad is President Trump keeps pushing this thing about mail-in ballots. Okay. Even if an immigrant is a American citizen, he's trying to say they're not allowed to vote. That's bad too. All right. And with the economy right now, it's even getting worse. Okay. Does the administration have any answers for Iran? That's getting worse. As the fighting continues because Iran doesn't want to surrender. When they told the United States this was going to turn into another Vietnam if it continues. Okay? The good, the bad, and the ugly of President Trump. So what's good about President Trump today? Or this week? All right? He's working on nuclear power, which is why I talked about that. His energy bills. He wants us to be able to make our own oil and start exporting it like we did in the past. Instead of kissing the Middle East ass. Okay? All right? Here, $22 million makeover of Dulles Airport. Hey, that's good news. I've never flown out of there. But hey, that's good. That's good for him to do that. All right. All right. The good, the bad, and the ugly of President Trump tonight. All right. All right, let's go into here. Some more stupid never takes a vacation, and shame on you. Virginia pastor removed from ministry charged with sending explicit photos. The school, the home, and the church are no longer safe for everybody anymore. They were the three places that were always told in our lives were supposed to be safe. Not anymore. Okay. All right. Here we go. Ex-Oakland mayor of Oakland, California, embroidered in a prostitution scandal. Wow. Shame on you for that. But this is from the dailymail.com. Okay. Yeah, this guy did turn it into a hellhole. That's what the article says here. Okay. All right. Oprah Winfrey says she's ending her South Africa Girls Academy. All right. To reach more young women with scholarships. This is People Magazine reporting. Oprah Winfrey getting out. Wow. I haven't heard much about Weight Watchers lately with her. Have you? I haven't. Okay. A woman who has slept with over 500 people says all men make the same mistake. Ah, oh my. Oh, oh my. Oh, jeez. Now this is kind of sad. Couple deported by found bound and shot dead in Guatemala in a sugarcane field. Oh my. Special election in Georgia. Georgia's always a big state for the election. They're progressives there. All right. Florida man allegedly forced children to stay awake all night and gave them food contaminated with animal feces. Shame on you for that. Shame. All right. Shame on you for that. Now look at this now. President Trump here. I don't know if you want to call this good, bad, or ugly. Asked the Supreme Court to bail him out of an $83.3 million he still owes Jean Caro in several defamation cases. Okay. Here, legendary casino closing in bankruptcy. I told everybody I talked about that today on my Philly show, radio show on 860 AM WWDB in Philly. Ralph Williams show. Major casinos are going bankrupt. Nobody's going out. They're doing it from home. Okay. All right. Casinos in the state of Washington. Crazy Moose Mount Lake Casino and Silver Dollar Mill Creek Casino. I told you, everybody has casinos now. That's why Vegas is hurting. All right. Ralph's opinion on that tonight. Said worker adjustment and retraining notification notices in Washington State are advanced public warning. That's another story. Why in Pittsburgh and in Pennsylvania and Allegheny County and all over the country, why don't we have some kind of stipulation or federal law that states if you're going to shut your business down, you've got to give your employees at least 1 month and customers 1 month's notice. That's fair to the customer, fair to the employees, and within that month, that gives you an opportunity to fix some of your mistakes that you might have made in your business, and you might be able to keep it going. Do you see how I just turned a negative into a positive, which I do a lot of, and people just don't, they don't care, All right. All right. I got a report here from President Trump that I want to play before we wrap it up here. Okay, but that stupid never takes a vacation. Here. All right, here. Anthony Fauci. He keeps pleading the fifth. I'm calling him out tonight. I'm calling him out. He is exposed. Keeps pleading the fifth because of some stuff he did during COVID that he knows he got busted with and he knows was wrong, and he continued to do it. Okay? So, therefore, tonight he is exposed. All right? He is exposed tonight here on the Ralph's Opinion Show. It's breaking news from Newsweek today. All right? He pleaded the fifth in the pleads during a tense COVID testimony. All right. He invoked his Fifth Amendment right to decline to answer a question during Wednesday's Senate committee hearing about his handling of the COVID-19 pandemic. You are exposed, Anthony Fauci. Exposed tonight. I knew you were no good. So did President Trump. All right. I think President Trump wanted to fire him the first time he was there. I believe that, but I'm not exactly sure. Okay. I believe that is the case. Okay. All right, let me see what we got here. I'm looking for this report that I have. All right, here, let's see. All right, here we go. Netanyahu meets Trump. Germany arms EU against China, and Zelensky touches down for talks. Here we go again. What's he going to do? Come stick his hand out again asking for money. Vladimir Zelensky. There's another one. Shame on you, man. Shame on this country. Shame on Joe Biden for even thinking about giving them money against Russia. You're on your own, man. All right? You're on your own. Of course, you don't think Putin's going to give up? No. He's not going to give up. Okay? I mean, seriously, no. All right. I can't find this report that I did have. And I had a report on this. Let's see if I can find this here real quick. This report. I'm looking for it. Okay, here we go. I think I found it right here. Here we go. All right, Trump asked SCOTUS to overturn. Yeah, this is what we were talking about earlier. Here we go. Here's this report here. Then we're going to wrap it up.
Trump asking the U.S. Supreme Court to intervene in his years-long legal battle with writer E. Jean Carroll, arguing he shouldn't have to pay $83 million in a defamation award because of presidential immunity. The president's lawyers urged the high court to review the case and overturn the jury's ruling in 2024 that found he defamed Carroll after repeatedly denying that he sexually abused her back in 1996. Last month, the Supreme Court denied the president's request to review a separate successful defamation lawsuit filed by Carroll. The president has denied any wrongdoing in both cases.
All right, there you go. All right. He's trying to get the Supreme Court for a second time to do something about that lawsuit. Now, I don't know what happened there, but according to what the report you just heard, all right, and that doesn't make President Trump look any better. That's part of the good, the bad, and the ugly with him as well. All right, some announcements to make for you, and then we're going to wrap it up here, finish up our show. That's Ralph's opinion tonight. We're done with our show, and I'm going to do some announcements, and then we're going to close up here. All right. Don't forget this weekend. All right, here's what we have going on. Friday, the SmackDown post show with me, Ralph Williams, possibly Brian Pettit. Here we are. The Ralph Report Wrestling Edition, SmackDown post show. And then we're going to do a pre-show to SummerSlam. The SummerSlam is this weekend, WWE. And then after the first night of SummerSlam, we're going to do a post-SummerSlam show, both Saturday and Sunday. And then we're going to go over, we're going to do a night 2 pre-show on our Saturday Sports Blast show a little bit. We're going to talk a little bit about the card for Sunday. All right. The Ralph Report Wrestling Edition. Don't forget to tune in Mondays and Fridays, Raw Post, SmackDown Post shows. And then also for the pay-per-views, this week's SummerSlam, we're doing a post show for both nights. All right. Haven't decided whether we're going to do a pre for the Sunday, but we'll think about that. Stay tuned to my social media platforms. All right. And then on Saturday morning, to start your morning off, the morning of Saturday of Ralph Williams, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m., 93.5 The Beach, the Ralph Williams Show. With me, Ralph Williams, your revolutionary, your visionary. I am Ralph Williams. I am the revolutionary, the visionary, and acknowledge me. All right. And then don't forget on Saturday morning as well, coming up at 8 o'clock, to 9 a.m., the Ralph Williams Show on 1250 a.m., The Answer 92.5 on the FM dial. My guest will be Jim Allenbogen, former Allegheny County Councilman. And we'll be talking about city and county politics. And then don't forget Sunday morning, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. on 1250 The Answer as well, 92.5 on the FM dial. 2 hours of the Ralph Williams Show with Tony Moreno every Sunday morning, 9 a.m. to 11, Saturday, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Here's the right banner here. And we'll put that up right now. There it is. The Ralph Williams Show with Tony Moreno every Sunday, 9 a.m. to 11. And don't forget Saturday morning, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., the Ralph Williams Show, both on 1250 a.m. The Answer 92.5 on the FM dial and the answer, pgh.com. We look forward to you listening and tuning in. And don't forget sponsorship advertising at the bottom of the ticker tape. And also don't forget about our QR code at the top of the screen here. And then at 2 to 3 p.m. Saturday afternoon, it'll be the Sports Corner Radio Show with me, Ralph Williams, Smoking Jim Frazier, Claudia Rosano, and Luther Dupree. Let's see if I can get that going here. Here we go. Come on. We got Steeler training camp going on, and I can't get the banner up. Oh, boy. Here we go. There we are. Wow, took about a week. All right, there we are. Every Saturday, 2 to 3 p.m., 1250 a.m., The Answer 92.5 on the FM dial and the answer, pgh.com. All right, and then not only that day, but also on Friday, and every Friday, 3 to 4 p.m., the Sports Corner Show with me, Ralph Williams, Smoking Jim Frazier, Claudia Rosano, and Luther Dupree on AM 620 KHB. Here we go. There you are, the Ralph Williams Show every Monday, 2 to 3 p.m. on 620 KHB as well. All right, this has been the Ralph's Opinion Show. And until next Wednesday, have yourself a great one. Don't forget 9 o'clock, coming up tonight, 9 o'clock, Steel City Sports World. It will be simulcasted on my YouTube channel, my Facebook page. I'll be on the panel tonight, so check it out, Steel City Sports World as well. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And please, by all means, be safe. Follow me on all my social media platforms and much more. Have yourself a great one. Please, by all means, be safe. And go to work if you can work. Go to work. All right? All right.